So let's talk real quickly about our protocols that we handle. We handle the Microsoft Remote Protocol 5.0 and higher, including the 6X series of the Microsoft protocols. So if you have a Microsoft RDP client that talks 5.0 and higher, which is Linux, Windows Embedded, and several other thin client vendors support that, then it'll work. Basically, you only find the 4X series protocols on very, 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 very old clients, such as DOS, Windows 95, 98. So again, unless you're running something really that old, you don't have to worry about that. If you are running something that old, you can use one of the other protocols though. MIT X11R6 with XDMC P1.0 protocol and higher. That's pretty much almost every X11 system out there to date. Unless, again, you have something that's 15 years or older, I think, you will not be able to access it in that type of situation with the X11 protocol. But if you're going to go ahead and use anything that's newer than 15 years ago, you'll be able to access it just fine with the XDMCP protocol. The ORLs, Remote Frame Buffer Protocol 3.2 and higher, provide the VNC access. Just to give you an idea, again, that's really old protocol version and higher. We strive to have backwards compatibility as much as possible with every possible client out there, and so implementing anything older than that was just simply unrealistic from the point as we couldn't find a client to even test that with. So again, the RFB 3.2 and higher. Let's move on to protocol interface. So what is the protocol interface? Protocol interface is our generic framework that we've created that allows these protocols to interface with these user sessions. The only reason why I list them here is to basically bring us to the 2 points at the bottom. It's adjustable through the AC admin tool, and it's responsible for sending and receiving events from the remote client. So it's the one that interfaces with the remote client, and it's adjustable through the AC admin tool. As we saw, there was a tab in there for controlling some of the features. Now, the reason why I bring up the sending and receiving is for troubleshooting purposes. If you're having trouble logging in with a user, for example, it doesn't have connectivity for whatever, try another protocol for a moment just to see if that will resolve your problem. If it does, it may be a bug in our system. Now, while I think that's unlikely, I'm not ruling that out. So it's a good way of just determining that if the bug you're witnessing is related to us or related to something else. Application execution. Just to drive home the point for a moment, each user session is the root of its PID tree. Basically, in the operating system, each user application, when it's launched, or even just application in general is launched, they will receive a PID number. It's unique across the system, and that's the same case with our product also. We enforce that. What we don't allow is these PIDs to traverse trees, basically. So one user session interacting with another user session is not allowed. And as a matter of fact, the way we do that is by controlling the PID tree. And that's not the only angle, but that's one of the angles that we control that. So here's an example of how Finder applications and so forth are running in one session, can also be running in a different session. Now, the root operating system session is a special session that we allow that startup daemons during the boot up. Sorry about that. Startup daemons during the boot up will actually inherit. So, for example, the disk arbitrator is one of them. Other daemons, such as power management and so forth, also run in the operating system session. Moving on, the AC admin tool, as we witnessed earlier, is used to administer the Aqua Connect. Keep in mind, AC admin tools shouldn't be your go-to for everything. Use the operating system facilities. Use Workgroup Manager for some of your tasks. The AC admin tool allows you to configure server-specific settings, configure user connection-specific settings, configure process priority, protocol settings. This is what the admin tool is about. In addition, it gives you auditing, tracking user habits, logging everything. You can even view, export, or clear logs. You can even make a parser if you want to parse the log data. Workgroup Manager, it's built into the Apple operating system OS X server. It integrates with Aqua Connect. You can use it for restricting Finder, preferences, applications. Very useful when combined with directory services. Remote home folders. Again, we support remote home folders. So again, SMB, AFP, NFS, shares can be mounted as a user's home folder. It's useful because the users, for example, Must be accessible by the user during login time. So when the user logs in, he'll be able to use the user session. But it's useful because it allows you to have a central deployment point to have multiple servers and have one central location. Can be tested by logging in through the server console. Now, this is an important troubleshooting tip. If you're not sure if your directory services is set up properly, try logging in as that user on the server console. If you're unable to do so, then the chances are you've got a problem with directory services. Or if you are able to log in, but the home folder that shows up is not the real home folder that you have set up, then again, you probably have a problem with directory services. Let's talk about directory service integration for a moment. While we say we support directory services, it's important to note that what we do is we interface with the Mac OS X security framework. So what that means is whatever the Mac OS X operating system can use for authentication, for user accounts, and things of that nature, we integrate with. So while Aqua Connect itself doesn't integrate with the directory services directly, we integrate with the operating system, which then in turn integrates with directory services. So when troubleshooting directory services issues, first troubleshoot it as if you're troubleshooting a workstation connected to a directory services environment. Take that angle first before looking into the other things. Integration with directory services is done through the directory utility that can be found in the utilities folder in applications. Search policies, make sure that the directory services that you want to be able to log in against is available and listed in your search policies, which is available under the advanced tab, advanced mode in the directory utility. Application installation, we kind of covered that real briefly. You install once and you forget about it. Applications like you would normally install them. So if an application isn't installed by dragging it to the application folder, run its installer, and again, it installs just normally.